Okay, so hey guys, so this is the 10 minute speaking. Let's start it. Let me go to Google, open it. I mean the video for my speaking. I have to wait for some seconds before I can go there and do it. Okay, there are some problems that are happening with this one, but that's okay. I'm gonna just all right. Uh, our brain constantly changes. Every second is changing. Every experience is changing. Put your brain out of your head. If I did some surgery on your brain now and I hold your brain in my hand, it's not going to do anything. You can look at it all day long. You did nothing and your body will function. No genome, no genetic activation. Nothing will happen, no chance will reach on. The fact that you are alive and have done that. The only reason the brain changed and doing anything is because you are thinking, feeling, and choosing. It's funny what is the surgery, thinking, feeling, choosing. The surgery the change on. We are now thinking, feeling, choosing, and that's mind, that's I. The fact that that's part that we are not have not done enough research on life based on use research we got to focus the art base because otherwise you can use your brain as a skill for everything we do today and we live in. You can make the relationship though as it did. That is why those are effects. I can somehow experience some challenges and before some problems in between. Everything I could be identified as an experience. By 20 years old, I can still view the world in a different way than you. You've learned it from birth. You learn it from birth totally different. So this is why we see studies of identical twins where you have totally in own age. And one gets analyzed and one who's still surrounding up and still going along. But you know how you perceive things makes your body work for you against you. Your mind's moving through your brain. Your brain builds that perception physically into your brain. You're so thinking, feeling, choosing moment to moment of your day. If you ever take a scenario where I'm constantly seeing a negative, so if I have now more than 63 days constantly thought in a certain way, I have built a very strong tree in my brain. A tree is a thought. Our thoughts are filled with real things. They look like trees. They occupy mental real estate. They are made of proteins and create their 100% they are totally right now you're growing at the speed of 400 trillion years from within the world and so fusing into trees in the brain. But if you for the habit you got done something for years and you don't thought it's worth for years because of experience, because of environments. So there's no joy you are probably wire or love beside with neutral. Environments all the stuff gives you pride. Now there's I factor. The two twins going through life is something but how they sing it. So each experience is now adding more and more layers to you need to call so here I'm born, but here I'm perceiving. I may perceive the two twins. One perceives relationships in this way, one perceives a situation in this way. Two different networks build your brain. And as you keep thinking in that certain way, so you strengthen. What do you think about the most growing toxic? Is that the pattern I fully see that? Very easily to step back, observe your own thinking versus neuroscience and how we are designed. It's the physics of that. You can stand back and observe your own thinking and you can show someone, can you see that you're being negative, that you see that it is, I mean, you can keep show by showing people. There's always a way for someone to see but not everyone to choose to do that. If someone has done something and been free for more than 63 days, they have wired a pattern in the brain, like a pathway to toxic soy. That's why I use this. It's reporting to all computers, and those computers have been very established. Especially when they to build long-term memory. It takes 63 days minimum to build a habit under change one like we've been told. 63. And after that, we are going to sport A level. So if I have for 6 years being worried, I'm an expert warrior. It means to who I am. Who you become. So I can become. It's hard work. I'm going to have to do a lot of my work. I'm going to do a lot of my work, my research, my work, my research. My management to use emotional signals like depression and anxiety. And I think you use that to find out what is the cause of why I'm so negative. And even long-term memory can be conceptualized, and it means I always remember. So that's like, for example, someone sees the glass half empty, and they just read that, and that's just like, are these people just always going to see the negative first? Every business meeting, they just always see the negative. But a person can change the world where they become experts in being negative. But they can actually inquire that they can get to the point where it's a lot of work that you got to go to do through the pain to do it. People don't want to do it today, but you can change that and reverse the process. So the first step, or for the ball is gather. And let's be core for embrace knowledge. Embrace that you haven't got to accept this and issue. The second one is you got to reflect. Your deep reflection is a process. This is the most meaningful process. It's such we say my friend, I've got of their friends. And I said that they've got to first about the patient to heal them. So they went through the pain before. Okay, you see that the very that whole process is hard. I'm not lying, but it's good. And it takes time. It's we can change one day. So take process where you basically trying to check back to I'm not recently back, but why am I doing this? You change, you look in the change your parents. So the first thing is starts is to check out whether it is breast is an emotional warning signal. My body got physical warning signals. Do you embrace the emotional and physical warning signals for environment? Thinking about this, okay, though, why am I always negative? Why am I always depressed? Why am I anxious? And as you go through that process of self-reflection, you're getting to the point where you're not really just trying to find get to it's the today's 3 days when you're to the point where you find okay, well maybe this is the end of 21 days. See, oh, I'm anxious because I'm actually trying to be a perfectionist. I'm trying to control everything in my life, in my environment. It's not quite working out, or maybe it's because there's someone that you've never dealt with. The third thing is we got to restrict process. What we got to do is make a brand new stuff. Do critic write. The third process is write when you write, you could learn out a lot of and when I say write is the line, this is really hard on the page because you will see my sequence that we have to use a minute and a half to 2 minutes doing each of these. You could have that of a minute and a half. You could reflect a minute and a half. You write of a minute and a half. And then you would reject. Now reject is the process where you go to back look for pattern because you become aware of something or not. I am reflecting my arm falling. I'm starting to get to the root is only a minute and a half. When I move on, you run it down. Maybe a sponge of jumbo that you write down. You check the jumbo and try to get some level of order. Then you go to get the level of orders. Okay, that's my little tiny task for today. And it might be as simple as when I feel this anxiety coming on, and I'm gonna compartmentalize this, and I'm gonna only worry about it. Tonight it's all 6 o'clock. What a minute and a half of the bit of information you got, which points you must only get a bit every day. Not everything every day. We can't solve all normal built in a day. It's little thing change over time. We try and fix it quick or get there. The process we have to dig it out of your current process. It's a deep investigate detective process that you're doing. So let's say you start seeing, okay, I'm worrying because this is going negative. I'm starting to get the glimpse of maybe it could be this, maybe it's what can I do today as a little actively as you bridge. And as the bridge is then if I see that even mistake and worrying thing, I just pick up and worrying and just that's the delay and stop and getting so it's okay. I'll have to worry on that I've been put on today. Say what I've just worked out that I actually never stop worrying. So cool, what's my answer bridge? And as I worry, as that hit me in the face, I'm going to say, okay, this worry, I can deal with it now. I'm going to deal with it tonight. So now it's 6 o'clock in the morning and deal with it 6 o'clock tonight. As you go through the day, the thing inside out what happens to take the energy away from worry. Every thought you build is a real living thing. It has energy, it's firing energy. So if I take this worry, toss it, and I say, okay, keep quiet to report, I'm not going to deal with you. Instead to learn self-think about it. When I say 6 o'clock tonight, it comes an hour later, that thing start energy. Back in the 80s, I would change that the brains couldn't change in Canada. They got people that had traumatic brain injury, like Major, that had been written off by neurosurgeons into the liberate intention building of the brain, learning, growing brain, studying daily, went back to university, and I finished school, winning high grades, and discovered this can be run off the festival. I've been listening that happens quite often. It's me that maybe a scientist have since shown that when you use the mind, you probably change. Right. So this is the end of this 10 minute speaking. Okay, so bye guys. So I'm gonna move to the French speaking. Okay, so let's do it. Let me